Well, we have been dealing with making of an invoice using an Excel. Up to this point in time, we have been able to do some calculations. You can see from the records that have been entered here. We can be able to see the subtotal here. But then we need to add something now. Let's say you now have to do your totals. So we're gonna write here total. Total, and when we do this, we need to merge this cell to this point and of course bold it. So we're gonna do the merging, we're gonna do bolding like that. Right now I don't have the value here because I have not done it. I can write a formula, but simply I can also do this and then I will auto sum. So that is a total for now, but I can also be able to add some other rows here. Literally I can do that, and of course I would need to do some changes when I add this row, just like this. We have added some rows, and I was doing my numbering manually. But let me see if we were to do it automatically, what happens. So this is manual. We can do away with this, just remove this. Then we come here, we want to give it a value that is calculated based on this first cell here. This is this cell is A4. You can see here, this is the cell address. What is entered into it, this is it. The formula bar, this is what we have. So we would say here equal sign, and then we say A4, which is that upper address. Then we add that the value in there, we add 1, and you have it like that. So automated numbering will come, it will come like this up to that point, and then we release it. You see, that is automated numbering. So what happens if I enter another thing? Let me say I want to enter some value. Of course, this allows me to type and be able to also write at the same time. I'm able to type, I'm able also to select. I have that. Maybe let's say this textbook is year 1 ICT, for example, and we have a quantity, or maybe we are selling 14 and the price is at 13.50 per piece. So look at how this one is going to behave. This is supposed to be automatically generated, so let me just do that. And for sure you have seen these values change. Let me just do away with that. You see that the values will always change based on the values that you enter. So that is how you generate an automatic invoice using your Excel. We can now make this to look like a table. So how do we go about that? How do you make a table in Excel? Very simple. We need to highlight the area within which you want to make the table, like this. And once we have highlighted this area, we need to come to insert, and then we just say table, and we'll be asked, is this table having headers? If there's no header, you just click no header. If there's an header, you just click it as header. So if I click OK, you can be able to see that now. So this is how my table looks like at the moment, and that is my invoice. I can be able to change it, customize it further to reflect the needs that I have as a business. So probably would want to bold this one here. You can bold like that, and you can now copy this and just paint these others. You can format painter and then you paint these others, and there you are. Just like that, you've been able to make your own invoice using an Excel, and you've automated it in a manner that when you enter some value, it is picked automatically and then generated at the end of the day. So once you are done with this, you should be able to print your invoice. So how do you then print your invoice? To print your invoice, you need to come to File, and then you need to do print. So if I print my invoice at the moment, this is the size of my invoice, and of course there are a number of things that you need to be able to select down here. You need to select the printer you want to use. Like for me, these are the number of printers that I have. I have Konica Minolta, I have Kyocera Ecosys, and I think those are the ones which are there. These others are not real printers here. So once you've selected your printer, like in my case the selected one is Konica, which is offline at the moment, you can be able to print. Like now, only print the active sheets. That means you have more than one sheet in your worksheet. If you want to print all of them, then you will be able to select here and say print the entire workbook. When you print the entire workbook, it is going to print all the worksheets that you have in there. Remember, a workbook has got many worksheets. It may be one, it may be two, or many. You want to print maybe from page 1 to page 2. We can achieve the pages using what we call page break, which I believe I'll be able to show you. We can change the orientation if it is going to be a document stance, or if a document is going to be landscape, that is horizontal. Portrait is vertical. Then we can change the size depending on what we want. Now there is margins also, you can change. Scaling, if there's no scaling, the printer will print this document the way it feels. But we can say if you want to fit the document in one sheet, if you have so many rows, you can fit them in one sheet. But then the challenge with that is that you may have a very crowded worksheet that you the printout. Then there is this bit which says fit all columns on one page. That is to say, if you have 10 columns, we want all of them to fit into one page. So the printer or the program would automatically fit your columns onto one sheet so that it does not go overspill to another sheet. If you use rows again, it will only pull all the rows and put them together into one sheet. So depending on what you want, in most cases I advise people to use fit all columns on one page and then leave the rest without changing them. And that is how you're going to print. Once you are done, you will print by clicking on this and you will have your printout. Well, let me just show you something that you need to know. That is what we call viewing. The view is here. Under this view is what we call page break and page layout. The normal is how it looks like. If I go the page layout, that is how it is going to look like. Now that is my page for now. If I wanted to add a footer, header, I'll do that. But let me try to talk about page break. In page break, you want to break your pages in some manner. Our document is so small that we may not be able to show you how to do the page breaks. But if you were to page break, maybe we only wanted some section of this document like here to be printed. Then we do that and then we print. This, the one which is grayed out, you will not be able to see it. And so that is how you do page breaking and many other things. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did so, I pray that you subscribe, like, share, and we move on as we learn together. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your moments.